Metaverse. It seems people are so excited about Metaverse in the last couple of months that whichever platform you log into, there's some discussion going on about the Metaverse. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 stocks/ETFs that you can buy into right now to take advantage of this opportunity. Let's jump into it. In the next few years, there'll be many new players coming in the market and we'll have plenty of opportunities to invest in those. But since there are some really big players that are pushing the market ahead, we have the option of investing in them right now. When I picked these investment options, I took into account some special considerations, which I'll discuss as I go along. But I do want to point out these are not the only 5 investment options out there. There are plenty of other opportunities, but based on the current market condition, I believe these are the best options. The first stock is Matterport. Ticker symbol is MTTR. So when we talk about Metaverse, that's the first thing that comes to mind because everyone is talking about it. Matterport is working on digitizing the real world. So currently they're working in the real estate space where you can take multiple images, digitize them into a 3D model, and then show it to your potential client without them ever visiting the actual place. So where's the market opportunity for Matterport? For Metaverse to work, we'll have to digitize the real world and then bring it over to the virtual environment. Since Matterport is already doing something like this, they're better suited to take the biggest market share. The company has a market cap of $6.76 billion with the revenue of $110 million, which makes it very expensive. But since the market is really focused on revenue growth at this stage, it seems that the trend will continue. The second stock is Meta, formerly known as Facebook. The company makes a lot of money and they're trying to invest billions of dollars in this space to be the leaders. Now, with the recent decrease in the stock price, it has created a really good opportunity for investors to get into Facebook regardless of the Metaverse situation. So if you look at Facebook current valuation, it is actually undervalued compared to other technology companies. The company has a market cap of $960 billion with the PE ratio of 25, which if you compare it to other tech companies, it's around 35. And some of the Metaverse players are actually trading close to 100 PE ratio. In terms of market opportunity, Facebook will take advantage of hardware, which is Oculus VR, which they currently have, and they're also working on glasses for AR and VR. On top of that, Facebook will also take advantage of the monetization situation in the Metaverse. The third stock is Amazon with the ticker symbol AMZN. In Metaverse, there'll be a lot of networking involved, and Amazon will play an important role in it. The company had a revenue of $110 billion just in the last 1 quarter and is expected to keep on growing. Now, in terms of the market opportunity for Amazon in the Metaverse, it will be related to Amazon Web Services. Cloud computing will be a big factor in the Metaverse, and Amazon Web Services will provide the infrastructure for this new environment. Additionally, they have already announced virtual tryouts, which will be another big opportunity for these guys. Stock number 4 is TSMC-TAIWAN Semiconductor Manufacturing with the ticker symbol TSM. Now, you might be thinking, what does a chip manufacturing company has to do with Metaverse? Well, everything. Because not only is the software important, hardware is just as important. And there are several big players that are already designing new chips, but they don't make their chips. So who manufactures chips for NVIDIA and some of the other big players? Well, that's where TSMC comes in. In fact, they make about 90% of high-end chips. The company has a market cap of $645 billion with a PE ratio of 31, so that makes them slightly undervalued. In fact, if you look at the stock gains for NVIDIA, which has pretty much doubled since the beginning of the year, TSMC has only gained 10%. Now, of course, they're in a completely different space, but NVIDIA's expansion does mean more money for TSMC as well. I think as the demand for these high-end chips will keep on increasing, so will the revenue for TSMC, and over time, the stock will see a steady increase. Investment option number 5 is actually an ETF. Now, there are many companies that are involved in the Metaverse space, and some of them are currently overvalued. So if you don't want to take the risk of constantly going in and out of some of these positions and you want to get exposure to the overall market, ETF is the best option for you. The ETF is Meta ETF by Roundhill Investments with an obvious ticker symbol of Meta. This ETF currently holds some of the stocks that we discussed earlier, plus Microsoft, Roblox, Nvidia, Unity Software, Snapchat, and several other big names. The ETF provides a great opportunity to invest in some of the companies that are probably overvalued standalone, for example, Nvidia, Roblox, and Unity Software. The expense ratio for this ETF is quite high, which is at 0.75%. That means for every $10,000 worth of investment, you will have to pay $75 in management fee on a yearly basis. Now, if you compare it to other ETFs that are in the market, that's roughly around 0.3%. But this is the price that you will have to pay to invest in the Metaverse. So these are my top 5 picks for the Metaverse investment. Now, keep in mind there are several other players, but it's not about figuring out which stock to buy. It is also about when to buy. Some of the other players in the Metaverse, they're quite expensive already, and I feel like there'll be a better opportunity down the road. These 5 investment options are a good mixture of growth companies, which is Matterport, very stable money-generating companies, Facebook, Amazon, TSMC, and an ETF that gives you exposure to the overall market. That is all from this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.